welcome into the channel. I hope you guys are doing great. This is reading 2 of the block of 9 reads that I'm going to be recording for you guys for this next block of reads. Okay, so again, it's still the same day. I'm going to record all 9 of these reads on December 26th. But let's get off into it. Now, briefly in yesterday's read, I was explaining like that God was giving you a flat place and a low tide, okay? And so I kind of had to do my research a little bit because I'm like, Lord, what does it mean spiritually? Right? Or what can I reference that talks about being in a flat place? Okay. So, and then I had to also do the same with what does it have to, like, what's the benefits of being in a low tide? Right. So I'm going to bring y'all this read. Whoever it's meant to reach, it will. Okay. And if I'm speaking very quickly, then just, you can adjust the settings in your video to where you can slow me down a little bit and be able to hear in a slower pace if that's better. But I'm going to go ahead and knock these reads out because I'm multitasking right now. And so I got to get these done so that I can move on to my next task. Okay. So anyway, you are about to be left completely open and susceptible to what is to come. Confirmation. Okay. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say it one more time. You are about to be left completely open. Okay. And it's giving the energy of like outrageous openness. Okay. And when you're outrageously open, you are actually allowing the energy of abundance to flow to and through you, not just to you, but out the other side as well, to be used and sent and offered and as assistance to others, right? And so it's given this vibe of you are going to be left completely outrageously open and susceptible to what is to come. Okay. That means what is to come won't miss you. Okay. Oh, I'm getting Kevin Gates energy. Oh, where he was like this, right? Won't miss you. Okay. Like, but he was talking about knocking somebody out. But anyway, I'm just saying. Okay. I don't even know which song that is, but I'm going to have to find it and listen to it. But anyway, so the next thing is that I was shown in a vision, because these things I was given like in bits and pieces to give to you guys. Okay. So swimming with the low tide energy is generally safer during low tide. So it's safer to swim during low tide as water is farther from the shore and currents are typically weaker. Okay, now in a high tide, it can bring on stronger waves and currents, and it makes swimming riskier. Okay, so if we're talking swimming on a spiritual level, y'all getting out there in them astral waters, okay, in a low tide is going to be much easier and safer for you to do, okay, at this time. All right, it's going to be less riskier when you guys get out there in the astral waters or astral plane or wherever y'all are going, and because the tide is low, it's going to be a bit easier for you guys to swim. Okay, now let me see what this is saying here, because some of this I snatched off of Google. So let me make it make sense real quick. Okay. Okay. So even animals and plants, they have their own benefits when there's a low tide, right? When there's a low tide, it allows for reproductive activities, right? It allows for creatures or animals that live in water and out of water to benefit as well, because they can do what they need to do on land. They can jump back in the little pools of water, the pools that have pooled, right? So even though the tide is low, meaning that the water has retracted back into the ocean, right, and is not near the shore, that means that there's still pools of water, right? So it's not completely dry. There's still pools of water there where these animals that live on, it's giving Aquarius. Aquarius, are you in here? Because it's giving your energy if you're in here. It's also giving Scorpio energy if you're in here, Scorpio. Hey, Scorpio. But it's a vibe where like Aquarius and Scorpio, both, they can reside on land and water, right? So they can use both elements to survive. Well, it's giving this vibe. Like if you guys held those placements somewhere in, I don't know, in your birth chart, you may want to tap into those energies, because it's safe for you to jump in and out of the water. Okay. Anyway, let's see what else I have here. Okay, now let's talk about the flat place. So, because God said he was giving you a flat place and a low tide. Now, we talked about the low tide. He's like, if you jump out there, meaning Aries energy, if you jump out there, if you leap up off of that thing and you throw yourself into something, you have a better chance of it sticking. You have a better chance of survival, right? Because the tide is low, okay? You're not going to drown. It's like sink or swim. In this case, you'll actually be able to swim. So I'm seeing someone just leap off into the water and they're able to swim because the water and the currents won't overtake them. Okay. Now, water could also be like, we could be talking on an emotional sense, like your emotions could be in check at this time. So if there's something that you need to do where you need to move your emotions out of the way to take care of it or to handle it or to bring it to fruition, you'll be able to do that because your emotions won't be so tied to whatever this thing is, because the water is there, but it's not overpowering, right? Okay. But anyway, let me get back to this flat place. So a flat place can often symbolize a place of vulnerability. And we already talked about you being susceptible to what's to come because you're outrageously open. Okay, so whatever is coming, it won't miss you. Okay, now this is a positive and a negative, and I'm going to explain why. Okay. So if you're in this energy where you're in this flat place and you're vulnerable because you're exposed, and the openness to God's judgment is what you're exposed to. And judgment is not just a negative. Okay? As karma is not just a negative. Okay? It can be, but it all depends on like, okay, I'm getting that naughty or nice vibe. Have you been naughty or have you been nice? Because at this time, you're open. You're wide open. You're exposed. You're not hiding. You're out in the open. It's like you're in the middle of a field and there's nothing but space and opportunity for whatever it is that God wants to send into your life. Now, what he's sending into your life is what you've already put out into the ethers, into the energy, into the world, into the universe. Okay. So if it was extremely positive energy and you were on the light and right side of energy, guess what? You're going to feel safe, even though you're susceptible to what's to come, even though you're vulnerable in this place, you're still going to feel safe because you know that what's returning to you is nothing but the positive and the goodness and the kindness and the nurturing energy that you've already put out into the universe. Now, this is where it becomes a negative, is if you've been putting out nothing but negative energy and you're in a place where you're vulnerable, there is no covering, there is no protection. And what you're about to get hit with is exactly what you've been putting out to the universe, which has not been so nice. It's been naughty, or it's been negative, or it's been, dark. Then that's what's coming to you. And there's nothing that's going to protect those that this is coming towards. There's no safe house. There's no covering. There's no shelter. There ain't no shield. Ain't none of that. Y'all are open outrageously at this time. Does that make sense? I feel like I explained that better than the way that I wrote it. Yeah. But I'm going to read what I have anyway. It says, these are good points of location when you're on the right side of karma. But when in doubt or in disagreement with it, this can be catastrophic. So this looks like some type of catastrophic event that could be occurring for some, not for everybody, but for some that will be highly affected. Okay. I say this because it means there will be nothing to separate you from karma, be it good or be it bad. Okay. This is what I have for y'all. Okay. So this will be the benefits of a low tide and a flat place. All right. This is what I have. I hope this reached who it was meant to reach. Okay. And my loves, I'll see you guys in the next one. 9:15 on the clock. Have a good day.